You've probably heard of free speech, the right to bear arms, or protection against unreasonable searches. But what about the rights that aren't written down? The Ninth Amendment reminds us that our freedoms aren't limited to what's listed on paper. It's a promise that unspoken rights still matter. In this episode, we'll trace the roots of this often overlooked amendment, unpack what the founders meant by other rights retained by the people, and discuss how it continues to influence debates about privacy, liberty, and personal autonomy today on this episode of Beyond the Noise.
Welcome to the sound we're breaking through. The stories unfold, shining bright and true. Diving deep in thoughts, we'll take you higher. This is the movement, feel the burning fire. Let the voices rise in the echoing space. Join the celebration of every human face. Beyond the noise, we make our way. We make our way. Stories of courage, lighting up the way. This is our time. We're ready to play. On the Soar Network, we'll seize the day. From opinions that matter, we'll lift each frame. Reflect on the journey, yet we'll never be the same. In the heart of the noise, where the wisdom resides. Join us in the moment, where the spirit abides. We soar above it all, breaking every chain. Ignite the passion, let your heart sustain. Beyond the noise, we make our way. We make our way. Stories of courage, lighting up the way. This is our time. We're ready to play. On the Soar Network, we'll seize the day. Get ready, world. We're turning up the heat. Together we rise. Can't accept defeat.
Welcome to Beyond. Welcome to Beyond the Noise. I am Republic Sentinel, aka RS, with somebody in my ear telling me, not yet. I am joined by my co-host and producer, Yankee Free. How's it going, Yankee?
What the fuck did it do? I didn't tell it to do that. I'm like, oh, I'm not set for it. And then all of a sudden it switched. And I'm like, well, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, I was looking, I'm seeing myself. I'm going, oh, okay, I'm going. And you're going, no, not yet. I'm like, wait, what? I'm right there.
It is never auto transitioned that before ever. It's never auto transitioned to your solo scene. It's never done that before. I did not know that was even a thing. No, me either. I didn't even know it was a thing. Apparently it is.
Cool. that you're going to have to teach me that trick. That's cool. Anyway, tonight, Know Your Rights. Covering the 9th Amendment, which is one of the most strange amendments. Yankee and I were talking about this in the green room. It's strange.
We've said before that some amendments were vague-ish and kind of open-ended. You don't get any more vague than the 9th. The 9th's like, yeah, everything's again unconstitutional. Literally everything is unconstitutional. Every
Very
law.
Strange.
It's
yeah. Almost anarchical. Is that how you say that?
Well, yeah, I think we'll get into that too, and the reason why they put it in. It was all Jefferson, right? Wasn't it Jefferson?
No,
Madison,
whom I love dearly.
One
of my favorite founders.
This was put in because of Madison.
Now, Madison wrote most of the Constitution. It was him and Jefferson, but Jefferson kind of had him do it. From what I was,
Jefferson didn't even want to list rights. He didn't want a Bill of Rights.
He didn't? I didn't know that.
That's why the 9th is there. He put the 9th in because he didn't even want to list rights.
Well, Madison did, right?
Madison did not. Madison objected listing rights. The listing rights could be dangerous.
Right. So Madison, not Jefferson. You had said Jefferson.
Yeah, I corrected myself, but yes, it was Madison that objected listing the rights.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Madison, I think, was even more freaking, like, he really hated the idea of, like, the possibility that we could end up with a king and people could end up as serfs again. I mean, he wrote a lot of my favorite sections of oh, goodness gracious. What's the hell's the name of the book? Doggone it. My head. It's gone.
Federalist Papers?
Yeah, the Federalist Papers. He wrote my favorite ones out of there.
Before we go much further, thank you, Crazy Dude, for the raid. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks. And what's going on, Kat, Cass, Liz, Justin Henry, Moonlight Rider, Firepaw, Raging Gemini, Broken Halo.
Miss Broken. I love seeing Miss Broken Halo in chats. We don't get to see her that often anymore.
No, she's been in and out.
Busy. She's busy. Busy lady. Very important busy lady. Oh, a Mikey V even.
Mikey V. How you doing, kid? Ashaelon.
And an Ashaelon too? Hope you're feeling even more gooder today, Ashaelon.
Yeah. Chaotic was saying that you were on the mend still last night, but good to see that you got to go back to streaming. Anyway, so shall we start breaking into the 9th Amendment here?
We shall. What would you like to start with, sir?
Reading it verbatim?
Oh, like this?
Yes.
Why, yes.
Yes. Okay, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Interpretation, please.
Let's try that. I think we need to read it verbatim one more time so everybody can hear the vagueness.
It's so vague. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people.
Okay, so everybody understands enumeration means written. The written rights. The written rights in the Constitution, certain rights, shall not be of certain rights.
Yeah, I know.
What? Okay. Woo! Woohoo! Yeah, that's super clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So basically, every law is unconstitutional, is what I hear. Everything's unconstitutional. Any rule, any law, anything the government says that you cannot do and you can be punished for is unconstitutional. I have a right to do it. I have a right to be an asshole.
Well, that you do. That there's no question that you have. I
have a right. I have a right if I believe that doing X is acceptable. That's my right to do it. Yeah, it's your right to do it. So it's unconstitutional to tell me no, you can't do that.
Thank you and good night. I don't because it says certain. What's certain? I don't understand which ones they're saying. Which rights are they talking about?
Certain ones.
Certain rights.
Certain ones.
But what the oh my God. There's like that is. Listen, I love Madison, but I think he purposely wrote that incredibly vague in order to just throw a fucking monkey wrench into the system. He and Jefferson
was really
both
drunk.
hated the system. Well,
too much mead that day.
I'll tell you from what Barnes was talking about, the fact that they used to go and sit there all day and do for the Constitutional Convention, and then when they were done, they go across the street to the bar/whorehouse, get drunk, get laid, go home. Come back the next day, work on the Constitution.
Sure, why not? Sounds fun.
Hey, what a life. But yeah, it's so vague. So Yankee has a nice little talking points accumulation here. So we're going to run through them and see if we can shed any light, because I'm telling you right now, when we sat down initially, I was like, what does this even mean? And Yankee's immediate response was, it means that basically we can do whatever the hell we want.
Yes.
Because there is no, I mean, it's like it basically, but it's certain laws? What certain?
I plead the 9th. I forget the 5th. I'm not pleading the 5th anymore. I'm pleading the fucking 9th.
Hell yes.
You're being charged with, I plead the 9th. Nope, it's my right. It's not written, but it's my right.
How many times has the 9th Amendment gone before the Supreme Court? Looks like Roe v. Wade utilized the fucking 9th Amendment. The lower court relied on the 9th Amendment, but the Supreme Court instead grounded abortion rights in the 14th Amendment's concept of... We haven't gotten there yet. Don't start muddying the waters yet. It's already opaque.
The 9th is muddy enough.
Yeah.
Need no muddying.
Griswold v. Connecticut, 1965. Connecticut banned contraceptive. So this all goes to reproductive rights. The 9th Amendment somehow goes, it's speaking about, I didn't see anything in there about, okay, so Connecticut banned contraceptive use by married couples. The court struck it down as violating a zone of privacy. The majority of it, which, yeah, absolutely. What the fuck? Why would someone ban the use of contraceptives by married couples? The majority opinion used penumbras. I don't even know what the hell that word is. Penumbras.
I'm perplexed.
From various amendments, 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 14th, to find privacy. Other justices, including in concurrence, pointed more directly to the 9th as reinforcing that unenumerated rights like marital privacy exist.
In United States constitutional law, the penumbra includes a group of rights derived by implication from other rights explicitly protected in the Bill of Rights.
So they hit the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 14th. And then other justices said, yeah, no, it's the 9th. Because the 9th makes so much sense that unenumerated rights like marital privacy exist.
So marital privacy is different than privacy?
I don't see how. But apparently...
Privacy is privacy. It's personal privacy, whether you're married or not.
Right.
It shouldn't be a different set of rules for privacy.
Not at all. Is that where they went with the Roe v. Wade, the abortion rights thing? Which, of course, has now been struck down and is gone. But, wow. We need to...
but Roe v. Wade has nothing to do with contraceptive.
No. Okay. The first example that they gave was the Griswold versus Connecticut in 1965. The second example they give is Roe v. Wade in 1973. That they cited the Ninth Amendment. The lower court relied on the Ninth Amendment, but the Supreme Court instead grounded abortion rights in the 14th Amendment. The issue with the reason that Roe v. Wade went was because it was legislation from the bench. The court couldn't rule on a law that didn't exist. So the Congress had not ratified a law that said yay or nay on abortion. So what they did was they legislated. Which
they shouldn't ever.
I don't care if they do or not. If they do it, then it's one way or the other. Then it goes before the Supreme Court and they can rule whether or not it's constitutional or not.
Right.
But they ruled whether or not it was constitutional and there was no law. So that's why it was bad law. Barnes is far better at explaining this than I ever could be. It would really be nice to have a constitutional lawyer on the show, especially to explain the Ninth Amendment. He probably would just, right off the top of his head, just roll right out, and it would be, oh, that's what it means. Okay. But I don't get it. I just don't get it at all. So
if anybody out there knows any constitutional lawyers that would like to come on a small podcast and help you on Mondays to know our rights.
Tell them to dial 1-800-RETARDED. We will answer right away.
1-800-WE-TODD.
Yes. I love it. You perplexed gurgle, it has the answer. No. We Yankee did a whole breakdown here. It's still, I don't, like I said, I don't understand a lot of it. So it's what the Ninth Amendment says. It listing some rights, speech, religion, etc., does not mean other rights do not exist or are less important. So that is the first breakdown, the first talking point that perplexity threw out there.
But even that, I understand it's a talking point, but
well, here, it tells judges and lawmakers how to read the Constitution rather than listing a specific right itself.
Right. So they're saying the ninth are directions. Like, hey, yeah, we're listing all these things, but these aren't all of them. There are other certain ones that you should just know.
But, okay, so then that would make me, I guess I would understand why people like Jefferson and Madison wouldn't like the idea of a Bill of Rights because it gets very specific. And then if you didn't list all the rights there, if you missed something, then they, judges could sit there and go, well, it's not in the Bill of Rights. It's not, you don't have that right. Because it's not listed. So I guess what the Ninth Amendment is trying to do is say, oh, and by the way, there are other rights that we haven't covered. And you can't trample those either.
Okay,
Almost
but
as
still
if future-proofing it, maybe? Is that
yeah,
what
but
it's doing?
still so incredibly vague.
I imagine on purpose, right? These guys were
yeah.
very, very smart. So I imagine that they were very vague on purpose. That's what I have to assume here. I know when you assume you make an ass out of you and me.
No, but I do agree with you. I'm playing devil's advocate partially, but the vagueness muddies the waters as well. Like I would just think that the rights and because we've said it before. Oh, this is vague, or this is kind of vague, or this right was kind of vague. It could cover this, or this, even though it didn't specifically say it. Those things fall underneath it. This one just kind of goes, yeah, there's tons of rights. Yeah, but what are they? Like, that's what I'm saying. That this basically you could say anything. You could apply the Ninth to literally anything.
Just about. I mean, I'm thinking, like I said, it sounds like they tried to future-proof the Constitution. To be able to say there will be things that will come up that aren't specifically listed here, and they are rights as well.
So then why do we have any more than 10 on the Bill of Rights? Why did they add amendments? Why did they add amendments if we have the Ninth?
When we get into, it's going to be fun getting into 11 through 27 or whatever, however many there are. There's
no need for them.
That's what they say. Most legal scholars say that there's all of these do not matter. They're basically covered in the first 10. You don't need anything after 10 because it's all covered there. It's just interpretation that has led to, well, because slavery wasn't done away with. That was one of them before the Constitution was signed, even though they wanted it abolished, but 2 states held out. Virginia and Georgia, I think were the 2. Don't quote me on that. I think those are the 2. And they wanted all the colonies together. In the Constitution, they said that if they couldn't get everybody, then there's no Constitution. It's not going to work. So they held out, so they had to retain slavery.
But it's in the Ninth.
It really kind of is. That's kind of the point. There's a lot of people that have argued that. Look, there's one amendment that we're going to get to that I think is completely retarded. It absolutely changed the Congress. There's plenty of them I don't like. The income tax one, but the Senate. The Senate was always 2 people from each state, so there's equal representation, and they are appointed by the state legislature. They weren't voted on by popular vote. But the state legislatures, in an attempt to neuter the federal government, those dirty states, wouldn't appoint somebody. They would just drag their feet on it. So senators have 6-year terms. The federal Congress is trying to get laws passed, but they don't have enough senators in order to pass the laws because the states weren't filling the vacancies. So in late 1800s sometime, we'll get to it when we do, they basically changed the Congress. They changed the Senate, so now it's popular vote. Literally, the Senate was supposed to represent the states. The House was supposed to represent the people. And then the president was your king that signed things into law or fought it. And then, of course, but that's what I'm saying. Everything past the 10th Amendment is retarded. Just wait till we get to, like, when they banned alcohol. That went away, didn't it? They literally have an amendment to ban alcohol and then an amendment to unban banning alcohol. I love it. But yes, I think that what you're saying is right, that the 9th Amendment, we'll get to the 10th, but the 9th Amendment basically says, and everything else.
Well, why? I don't understand why this one wasn't the 10th.
Right. Well, we haven't gotten to the 10th yet. We'll see what the 10th.
I know, but you'd think that would be the last one. The last one saying, yeah, you know what? All this shit we just listed, it's those, and there's a lot of other ones.
B Money, one of my favorite amendments. Can you tell us why? Because we're sitting here, we're twisting our brains on this one. Yes, I agree with you, though. I'm sorry.
Literally everything else falls underneath it.
Right.
No,
like
okay,
ETC.
stop there. Stop at 9. Everything else. Yep.
Yeah.
You can't infringe on any rights of the people.
Yes.
Okay. Done.
That makes sense. Actually, why wasn't that the first freaking amendment?
Right.
The government will not infringe on the rights of the people. Period. That's it. No more. But I am glad that they put the First Amendment in there. I am glad they put the Second Amendment in there.
But they're all covered under the 9th.
They basically are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it to me. What do you think, B Money? Because you said it's one of your favorite amendments.
Unless he was just being a wise tuchus.
When you feel like you can't explain how the government is infringing on you, refer to the 9th.
That's what I said. I said, fuck the 5th. I'm not pleading the 5th anymore. I'm pleading the 9th. I didn't do anything wrong. It's covered under the 9th Amendment. You cannot infringe upon my right to do X, Y, or Z.
Yes.
Because it's my right to do it.
That's basically what it sounds like,
It's literally what it says.
Yes. I mean, what an interesting amendment. Vague as all hell, but I see what it's doing. I plead the 9th and the 5th. You don't need the 5th if you plead the 9th.
You don't need the 5th. It's covered under the 9th. Forget the other ones. And you know what's funny? 9 has always been my favorite number. And I had nothing to do with this, but 9 has always been my favorite number.
Wow. And now?
Now I know why.
Yeah. It was in your head the entire time. It's low-key the best one. Well, here's the thing, B Money.
I agree.
It's like so freaking vague. Yeah, it makes sense why it would be the best one. And I would love to know how many people who knew what the 9th Amendment was. Because I had no freaking idea. And I feel like I understand, for the most part, the Bill of Rights. Not the 9th Amendment. Well, now I do. I know I understand it a bit more now. Now we just need to convince these new politicians. I think we should.
There's nothing to convince. It's written. It's written.
Good point. Just get rid of them all. We don't need them anymore. Just have state legislatures and that's it. Fuck it. Let's go back to having a king. Let's do it. That way we
already do, don't we? Aren't they having protests about that? Like,
right, no King's Day.
Because we are apparently we already have a king.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What's up, Davy?
So Trump doesn't have to run for re-election.
Nope.
We're good.
It's in the 9th. You cannot infringe on Trump's right to run again.
Exactly.
You can't do it. It's covered under the 9th Amendment. You can't infringe upon that right.
You also can't infringe on his right to seize oil tankers from Venezuela. Nope. It's right there in the Constitution.
I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Man, the 9th is just, it is. It's perfect.
All encompassing.
Yes.
What's up, Hamburglar?
I love how the more that we've talked about this, the more that it makes sense. The more it makes sense.
Well, that's the whole point of Mondays.
Exactly. Understanding this stuff.
Because I'm going to be, I'll, like you said, I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't know squat about the 9th.
Me either.
Because they do such a good job of teaching us about, the Bill of Rights in school.
That's the thing, though. I thought they did a pretty decent job when I was in high school in the 90s, early 90s, but I don't recall ever being taught this amendment. I don't recall any of that.
Me either.
I was always, dude, I took 5 years of history and 4 years of high school. I loved history, and I particularly loved U.S. history. It wasn't hard. I didn't even have to try because I was so just innately, internally interested.
Right.
But I don't remember ever having a conversation about the Ninth Amendment. That's wild. That is wild. So,
yes, it is.
The founders worried that a Bill of Rights might shrink liberty by implication. The distinction between enumerated rights explicitly written and unenumerated rights retained but unwritten is what they were going for in the Ninth Amendment. James Madison acknowledged the objection that listing rights could be dangerous and proposed language that became the Ninth to guard against that danger. Davi with a gifted sub. Thank you very, very much.
Oh, they don't show up on here. Thank you, Davi. Appreciate you.
And Reality Pocket grabbed it up. Ninth protects weed, in my opinion. Ninth protects just about everything. B-Money, but good point. Davi with another gifted sub. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Davi.
Round 2. Anybody getting these? Oh, there we go. Reality got one.
Yes.
And I don't think the second one's been claimed yet.
Not yet. Hasn't popped.
Not yet.
I'm thinking that B-Money. So the Anti-Federalists insisted on a Bill of Rights, which Jefferson was one of the big writers of the Anti-Federalist Papers. I was always more of a fan of the Federalist Papers, John Jay, Madison, and Hamilton. I hate Hamilton, by the way. Can't stand him. Pompous prick who wanted a king. Loved the monarchy, but and had a massive hard-on for making George Washington our king. But he did write some very, very intelligent Federalist Papers. The Anti-Federalist Papers I have right down here on the floor where it belongs. I'm kidding. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know exactly what the argument was, but I do know that federalism, especially for Jefferson, was a problem. He said that he was a Virginian first and an American second. Believed that states' rights should trump federal. B-Money got it. Awesome.
B-Money.
And to some degree, I understand that. But having a coalition of 50 states, it makes sense to have a federal groundwork. Because we have seen states, like on the Second Amendment in particular, that have repeatedly, over and over again, they just keep trying to take guns away from people.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, the federal government
infringing
has protected the people. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So we found out tonight that there's 2 amendments. Rights fall under 2 amendments. All the rights fall under 2 amendments.
Yes. Well, that First Amendment's pretty damn important.
Yeah. Well, it's covered under 2. They all are.
Yeah. So
there's a couple other things that I read. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And like segment the third one, how courts have mostly not used it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I did see one thing here, too, because next week we'll be covering the 10th. The 9th was paired conceptually with the 10th. One speaks to retained rights, the other to reserved powers. So that'll be what would. So in other words, it sounds like the 10th was basically an add-on from the 9th, is what it sounds like. But how courts have mostly not used it. 9th Amendment appears rarely in Supreme Court opinions, not more rare than the 3rd. And when it does, it is usually secondary rather than the main basis of a ruling. Before the 1960s, litigants sometimes cited the 9th along with the 10th to challenge federal programs. Well, that makes sense. But the court routinely dismissed these arguments with little analysis, probably because the 9th is so vague. That's what I would assume. And then you got the Griswold versus Connecticut, Roe v. Wade. Post-Griswold, scholars count a relatively small cluster of Supreme Court and lower court cases that even meaningfully discuss the 9th, and many courts sidestep it for lack of clear doctrine. But I think I appreciate the lack of clarity. It makes it so that, like I said, future-proofs the Constitution against infringement later down the line, rights that they didn't think of. It's like Madison said, just because we clarified some rights here doesn't mean that you get to step on rights that we didn't cover.
Right.
That's actually really, really smart.
Yes, and there shouldn't be anything after. There should be nothing else. That should be the end of it. Like, yeah, okay, we listed these, but it's not the only rights covered.
Right.
It's everything. It's every human right.
Yes.
That the government will not infringe on, which they do on a daily basis.
They do on a daily basis.
In many different ways.
What was the thing that we talked about was that you probably commit to 3 felonies a day or whatever. That's it. It's one of those. It's a number. Then you don't even know it. Well, the government infringes on our rights every single day. And I kind of feel like they know they're doing it. Maybe they don't because hey, look, if I'm retarded, AOC is like a mental midget. And she's a representative of the peeps. I'm just a stupid sandfly. Yes, the politicians are full of lots of bullshit, and they do work very tediously to infringe on our rights as much as they can. I think that with the shit that's going on with AI is probably going to be a gateway into trying to steal some of our rights away from us. Sandflies, I work in a sand mine. That's why I was saying I'm just a sandfly. An idiot is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, crazy dude. Really?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Yeah, but that's not a prerequisite to representing the people. Matter, I don't care what anybody looks like. If they've got the interests of liberty in mind, I'm good with it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So are these rights discovered, natural law, or socially constructed and evolving, living constitutionalism? Well, I think that the 9th Amendment did. That's what it did. It said, oh, and by the way, there's more to come. And we don't have the time or the paper, apparently, to write it all down. Someone is going to come up with something down the line, and you're going to say, well, it's not covered here. And with the 9th Amendment, they basically said, and that. That's right. Covered too. You know, like you said, natural human rights that were not pointed out in the first 10 amendments. So she got my interest at one point. Well, at least you can see she's an idiot. But I think that everybody concedes that she's an idiot. What, so if it requires some looks, where does Bernie keep coming from? I think that Bernie is just an acknowledgement that retardation is preferred by the people.
Well, there's a lot of retardation that has been proven that people believe in.
Agreed. A lot.
What was it? What's the number? I used to cite it all. When Biden left office, he had what, a 27% approval rating?
I think that's right.
27% is way too many retards.
Yes, I remember you saying that when it happened. It's like, how in the hell is
everybody's saying, oh, his approval rating's so low? No, his approval rating should have been negative.
Yes.
It was like...
should have been everybody hated this son of a bitch.
But no,
AOC
27% approved.
What's lost? Cortez, right? Ocasio-Cortez. What's her first name?
Sandy?
Amanita? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Damn, I'm sorry that I even know that. Alex, that'll work.
Well, didn't they call her Sandy though? Wasn't that her nickname or whatever? They called her Sandy?
I don't remember that. She's just window dressing. She doesn't bring anything meaningful to the conversation. What am I that's not to say that a good-looking woman can't be a good representation of the people. Look at Tulsi Gabbard, smoke show, and she's very, very intelligent, and she is very, very good with what she does in the military and everything else. She's magnificent. Love her to death. Wait, Justin Henry, you don't know who the hell she is?
Oh, he doesn't know who
AOC is. He says, I'll have to check her out.
Oh.
Justin. Okay, just go check her out. Don't listen to a word she says. Your brain might explode. Because mine has come very, very, very close. It's like total meltdown. So one of the talking points they point out here, sorry, what was up?
No, I was just going to go into the privacy part of it.
Oh, go for it.
Some of the things about the 9th that they're saying covers is privacy things like contraception, sexual intimacy, digital privacy, medical decisions, and whether these are, retained by the people even though not listed.
Right.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I mean, that's the 9th Amendment to me. That's just, if it makes me happy and I'm not harming anyone, leave me the fuck alone.
Basically.
That's basically what I'm getting out of the 9th. And that's why I love the 9th, because that is my belief. Like if I'm not physically harming anyone, like just
leave me alone.
Yeah, take a long walk off a short pier and leave me alone.
Love that saying. But just like what B Money said, weed should be covered on everything. I don't care what you do to yourself. I honestly, the libertarian in me, and I hate even saying that anymore because I think the libertarians are just as retarded as the rest of them. But the libertarian in me says, I don't care if you do opium, fentanyl. I don't care what you do. It's your life. So long as you aren't harming someone else,
right?
Go for it. I don't. I would never encourage anybody to do any of those things, but I still think it's your right to do it. You shouldn't be imprisoned for doing it. You're not harming
Absolutely
anyone else. Not. Well,
if you do, where that could come into play, harming others, is if you do that and it makes you do things to harm other people, then you are guilty of harming other people.
Yes.
And that's what you're charged for, not the use of the drug or whatever it is that made you do it.
Right.
But doing it, yeah. But you made the choice to do the drugs. So you then in turn made the choice to do that.
Right. You didn't break the law until you infringed on someone else's rights. But
correct.
Doing something, I don't care. I mean, listen, drink bleach. I wouldn't encourage you to, but if that's what you want to do, you're not infringing on anybody else's rights. If doing meth and makes you turn around and rob somebody to feed your habit, you have now broken the law by robbing someone, not by doing the meth. And that gets into the nanny state saying, no, you can't do that because this will happen. No, you can't. That's Tide Pods are better. KD. That just shows, we are very retarded. But that almost is, kind of covered by the Ninths, but they've just sidestepped it a lot. Yes, please don't do it. I would agree with don't drink bleach, don't do drugs.
It's not good for you. It's not recommended.
Not at all.
But you shouldn't go to jail for it.
Right.
The government shouldn't tell you that.
Yes. Yes, Katie, we do not condone this.
No, we do not condone the use of substances.
Yeah.
Well, not all substances. I mean, I don't have anything in it right now, but there are substances that we use.
Yes.
But I wouldn't condone it for everyone, though. If you're, not everyone should indulge in adult beverages.
No. But again, natural selection, Darwinism. There you go, Liz.
Yes. I am such a strong believer in survival of the fittest. Remove all warning labels on everything. No more warning labels.
Yes, we'll get rid of the idiots.
You can't figure it out? Bye-bye.
Where do those blue side thoughts of controlling everyone keep coming from? When you're saying blue side, I'm assuming that you're meaning like the Democrats. Is that the because if that's the case, the Republicans have been really, really good at stomping on your rights, especially the far right religious freaks. They love to say, God's law. And I'm a Christian, and I think that's retarded as fuck. Look, when I was a kid, that whole the satanic panic thing, the heavy metal music was making kids commit suicide, and video games are making kids shoot up schools, and go fuck yourself. That's one of the dumb, and all of those things have been looked at very seriously by psychologists and all this other, and it's all bunk. But the right were the ones that were saying we need to ban heavy metal music. That's why you have labels on CDs, remember, that would say warning explicit. What? Get oh God.
Just
that video games.
It kind of annoyed me. I don't know if you caught it. I sent you a picture, though. I sent it to you for a reason. I sent you a picture of, I got the new smoker this weekend.
Yes.
And Did you read the label, the plate that's on it with the serial number and all that stuff?
No.
Across the bottom, it says,
Yes.
surface may be hot, caution, surface may be hot, and then it says for outdoor use only. If you have to be told those two things on a smoker, on a grill,
Yeah, you shouldn't be in the gene pool.
No, please do use it inside, and once you get it up to temp, press your face against it, please. If you need to be told surface could be hot, and you...
Yankee,
it
do
actually
you remember,
pissed me off when I read that.
Do you remember when we were younger, that old lady who went through McDonald's and she got the cup of hot coffee and it spilt on her and she got burns and she sued
I
them
think that
for
actually has
millions
been
of dollars?
debunked. I think that was urban legend, but
was
but
it?
yes, people have done that. People have complained, and but I don't think that particular story about suing McDonald's.
Okay.
I don't think that I think that was an urban legend.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But
I'd
it tells
always
a
heard
good
it.
story. But it makes a good point. Like, no, it shouldn't have to say contents hot. You ordered a hot fucking coffee. What else do you think it's gonna be?
Right. That's where I was going with that. I didn't know it was an urban legend. I had always assumed that it was real. I'd never seen it. I just heard it from other people.
See, I'd seen that it was an urban legend, but let's check on that.
We could. It's just a point. It's going to your point that why do we have to tell people not to be dumb? If you're dumb, it's kind of like what Liz was saying. Survival of the fittest. Darwinism. You'll be out of the gene pool and we'll be better for it. That McDonald's lawsuit sure got lots of repeats. I think McDonald's has been sued a number of times, haven't they?
Oh, maybe it's not. Okay. There was a lawsuit, $20,000 for medical costs.
That's it? Oh, I had heard it was like for millions of dollars.
It was in 92.
There you go.
The case became infamous due to myths portraying it as frivolous, but facts show McDonald's served coffee at 180 to 190 degrees. Far hotter than typical home coffee, 135 to 140, despite over 700 prior burn complaints.
Gotcha.
Liebeck initially sought $20,000 for medical costs, but McDonald's offered only $800.
The biggest corporation on the planet.
Refused to settle, leading to trial. The jury found McDonald's 80% at fault for negligence and awarded $200,000.
Oh, ask 20,000, get 200. I like it.
Oh, plus $2.7 million in punitive damages.
That's what I thought. I thought she'd gotten millions of dollars out of it. Again, this was all just shit that I heard, and I didn't realize it was. 92,
the judge cut the punitive damages to $480,000.
Okay, so she didn't get millions, but
no,
that's wild. Okay.
Oh, it's right here. Key myths debunked. Myth: she got millions and drove while spilling. Truth: car was parked. She received far less after reductions. Myth: frivolous suit. Truth: McDonald's ignored hundreds of burns. Served dangerously hot coffee and intentionally for flavor and longevity, and lost on evidence of gross negligence. Post verdict: local McDonald's lowered temperatures to 158.
Okay.
So it wasn't a myth. It really happened.
But it still is kind of retarded. All right, Liz.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Safe and fast, Liz. Safe and fast.
I'm drinking coffee. I'm done with it now. I'm going to go up and get more on the break, which we're getting to. It's top of the hour. Thanks for giving me the transition, KD. Love it. Love it. So at the top of the hour, we like to take a little 3 to 5 minute break so that you can go refill your beverages, drain what fluids you may have consumed, or grab some snacks, whatever it is. But don't go anywhere, because we are coming back to talk to you more about the Ninth Amendment. Yankee, what do you got?
Thank you for being here, chat. We appreciate all the love and support you show us and this little channel that we are trying to grow. So if you would, please hit that thumbs up if you like what we're doing and talking about here 3 days a week. And repost, help get more eyes on the channel. And throw a comment down below. It helps. Apparently, it helps in the algorithm thing. Apparently, there's an algorithm. I don't know if there is or there's not. Who knows? Because the communication and transparency of Rumble is that of our government. So,
like the Ninth Amendment.
Yeah, really clear. It's real clear how things work around here. So, just do all the free things if you enjoy our content here. As well as over on Pilled, please repill and red pill if you are enjoying the content. And just basically thank you all for being here. We appreciate you.
Yes, so don't go anywhere. We will be back in 5 minutes. Thank you for watching Beyond the Noise, a subsidiary of SOAR Network. We're live every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To ensure you don't miss the show, make sure you follow the channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from our work. You can find Yankee every Friday night on his Living Yankee Free channel for bourbon and beer for some irreverent fun with friends. Or drop by his music channel, Patriot Jams, for good tunes to get you through your day. Better yet, follow his main channel, Yankee Free, for all alerts for any of his content. You can follow RS on his main Rumble channel, Republic Sentinel, for alerts for all of his shows, and TRS News for an alternative take on the news. If you have specific questions for our guests or the hosts that you would like to be read on the show, you can drop a Rumble rant. You can support the channel by simply hitting the follow button. And if you feel so inclined, become a paid subscriber. Thank you for watching Beyond the Noise, a subsidiary of SOAR Network. We're live every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To ensure you don't miss the show, make sure you follow the channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from our work. You can find Yankee every Friday night on his Living Yankee Free channel for bourbon and beer for some irreverent fun with friends. Or drop by his music channel, Patriot Jams, for good tunes to get you through your day. Better yet, follow his main channel, Yankee Free, for all alerts for any of his content. You can follow RS on his main Rumble channel, Republic Sentinel, for alerts for all of his shows, and TRS News for an alternative take on the news. If you have specific questions for our guests or the hosts that you would like to be read on the show, you can drop a Rumble rant. You can support the channel by simply hitting the follow button. And if you feel so inclined, become a paid subscriber. What is up, Lover Dose and Neuro? What's going on? How you guys doing? Chat's been lively tonight. It's been great. Talking Ninth Amendment. And I think, well, we basically have covered it. But real quick nutshell here. The Ninth Amendment says the government's not going to infringe on any human rights, basically, just because it's not covered in the 8 amendments preceding it doesn't mean that the government can then trample on that. So,
but basically everything's covered under the 9th.
Yes.
Lover, we're grouping you together. He grouped you together because you both showed up at the same time. That's why.
Yes.
2 people we hadn't said hello to yet.
Because we've said hello to
he killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Hell yeah.
Well, 1 asshole and 1 neuro with 1 asshole, 1 neuro with 1 stone.
It's good to see both of you. That's all I was trying to say. Oh, all right. So we've covered the 9th. It's pretty much, you guys got, I don't think we can beat this anymore to death. So Yankee and I were talking in the green room, and we want to talk about a little something else that's going on. What about little Ben Shapiro and the way he went to Turning Point and started advocating for deplatforming certain conservative talkers, pundits
that are ripping apart the MAGA movement.
Yes. Because he's so MAGA. What would that be? Make Israel great again. So mega?
Mega, yeah.
Mega. Ma mega.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. So
that would Ma mega would be make America, make Israel great again.
And that's what they're doing. Yes.
Yeah, make America, make Israel great again. Ma mega.
Ma mega. Yes. I love it. That's good shit. Harder RS? Yes.
Davey, I think he wants the backside. That's what side I think Ben Shapiro wants.
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
I can't stand that little twit.
I hate him too. There was a point, I was telling you, in the green room, there was a point where he made sense, and I listened to him a little, not long. I'm more a Breitbart guy. I loved Andrew Breitbart. I thought he was brilliant. I've seen speeches from him, and everything he said, I was like totally on board with. I'd get goosebumps. I love Andrew Breitbart, and they killed his ass. I guarantee you they killed him. But Steve Bannon and Ben Shapiro both worked for Breitbart. And when Andrew died, Ben kind of went off and did, what's the thing that he's got now? What's the place that they work at? I can't remember what it's called. Whatever. He went off, did his thing, and Steve Bannon basically took over Breitbart. And I am a huge fan of Steve Bannon, too. You ever listen to, you should, if you've ever watched him speak, well, the way he talks about China, everybody has these ideas about China. He'll straighten you right out about what China really is. And he's great with the Constitution. What? Hard R. Oh, that's what I'm. Yeah. Yes. No, I've actually used that word, trying to explain what that word actually means. But I'm not going to do that now.
I've used it describing what I thought a certain nut was called for, I would say, the first probably 18 to 20 years of my life.
Yes. Yes. And neither one of us used it in a reference to a race to be like racist or something. But that's the problem is that most people don't realize that the N word actually was the Irish were called that pretty early on. It's not about everybody think, well, it's because the black people came from Nigeria. The slaves did. No, they didn't. And that's not what that word, the word literally is supposed to be your class. You are a slave class. The Irish were very widely traded throughout the Middle East. And a lot of black people. So but it never had a reference to skin color. It was class. But in this country, because of the atrocities, yeah, that's why it became more
atrocities that are still going on in this world today. But nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. That's irrelevant. That's totally irrelevant.
Well, B-Money, I don't know about any of that. And I'm sorry, I'd have to dig deeper into that. I have no idea. I didn't know that he was associated with Epstein. But it seems like everybody was associated with Epstein. Does that mean that they were all kitty diddlers? No, but it seems like the guy was, I mean, and it's smart, right? If you were Epstein, you'd want to be in everybody's ear. For what he was doing, yeah, it's protection, right? Because he was a twisted son of a bitch and probably a Mossad agent. Mossad/CIA/MI6. I think he worked for all of them. There seems to be connections between them all and him. And he was basically entrapping politicians, princes, kings, the whole 9 yards. So I don't know. I had no idea. And if Steve Bannon is a kitty diddler, then that I would condemn him. But I don't know about any of that. Same thing. They say that Trump is on his list. But the only thing I ever saw was Trump took one plane ride with his son from Florida to New York. And that was it. Never went to the island. And he also banned him from Mar-a-Lago for hitting on a 15-year-old. So does that make Trump a kitty diddler? I don't know. Is Steve Bannon a kitty diddler? I don't know. Well, he was an elbow rubber. Yes. More celebrity pictures than a Korean drag. That's good stuff, Lover Knows.
And that is why Lover is the asshole that we love to hate and hate to love.
Both.
Yeah, they both apply.
Yes. Very much.
Just like Lover, it goes both ways.
It does. And yeah, he was name a celebrity basically in that whole time frame that he wasn't didn't have a picture with. And I got to be honest, that's smart, right? Because then if they come after him, there's going to be, this, will I be associated with him? I'm in a picture with him. I saw him.
Did you see the AI? Did you see the AI
yes.
I sent you?
That was
how awesome was that?
That was freaking amazing. Yes, how it goes. He's walking back and forth to all the different places where, yes, he's got pictures with everybody. And like I said, very smart. I just want to hear Chris Tucker explain it. Right, Chris Tucker, who is a preacher, right? He left Hollywood because he couldn't take the crap that was going on there, and he became a preacher. But by all accounts, he went to the island like 6 or 7 times. And I loved Chris Tucker. He was hilarious, dude. And then he just disappeared and when later interviews I saw with him, he said, yeah, that Hollywood is full of weirdos and creeps, and I couldn't be involved with that stuff. So I don't know. Trump's not a diddler. I don't think Steve is either, but I think he works for the same people as Epstein. Ooh, that's interesting. And was paid by Epstein for consulting, and Trump has eschewed Bannon since. I see. I gotta be honest with you. I love Trump, but I think he can be a very bad judge of character. He has some people around him that I don't understand why. Even his own son has said, you need to get this person out of here, and he sticks by him. And that's what I don't like. I don't know if it's in Trump's brain. He's going, well, they're from this far-right coalition that I need to have in order to get these things passed. So
never,
like throwing a bone?
Never too late.
Blame Putin.
Always.
What? What is wrong with Putin? I love Putin. Putin looks out for Russian people first. Hey, I will give him that. Putin is completely Russia first. What would that be? Raga? No. It would be Mara? No, it would be make Russia great again. So
that sounds about right. That checks out.
What's up, Jason Sorza?
Hello, Jason B.
Sora, sorry. And I'm the Pope. You keep advocating for that, Katie. Are you even Catholic, Katie?
Well, he tried to explain tonight on his show that it's Christ masked, but they took the T off because they needed the cross to hang him on. It used to be Christ masked, but they took the T because they needed to hang him on the T, so that's why it's Christ mass.
Jesus Lord, dude.
So I don't know where KD stands on religion.
He would be the first non-Catholic pope. He just wants a crack at some altar boys. Oh, good Lord. Just no. Oh, Katie says it's true.
You just want to crack at some altar boys?
So then...
That's full gay. That's not even mid-gay. That's full gay.
Yes, you and Epstein, hey? Good one, B-Money. Yeah.
So do you have that you have that video pulled up?
I do. Let's take a peek at it. So, for those of you who don't know, Asmongold, he covered this. He says it's a full-on civil war going on in the MAGA movement, Conservative Party. Now, he is also being rather facetious with that. But check this out. This is going to talk about the whole thing with Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, all of them. And we can talk about it.
There has been a civil war. That's right. We've been waiting on this for a while, haven't we? Well, it's finally here. There's a civil war now, and it's between basically a lot of the neoconservatives and also now with certain individuals that we are all quite familiar with. And this has been a debate over where is the Conservative Party going? Where are Republicans going?
You mentioned him, and your name came up on this stage last night in regards to pretty much all of this. Would you like the opportunity to respond?
Well, I found it kind of funny that Ben thinks he has the power to decide who gets excommunicated from the conservative movement, which shows a willful blindness.
He's right. She's right about this. That like him acting like, oh, everybody should excommunicate this person. The problem is that a lot of Ben Shapiro's criticism of like, what do you call it? Of like Nick Fuentes and stuff like that, I think that there's some validity in it, but I think that all of that validity goes out the window when you realize that this is a person that's acting in the best interest of Israel. That's the problem that people have.
About his position in it. It reminded me a little of when the girl who was the head of our middle school chorus told me she was going to take all my friends away from me.
Ooh.
Chorus? A head cheerleader, maybe, but like,
Hose mad. What else is new?
The whole thing. I objected to the whole thing. Ben and I, he had the nerve to call me a friend right before he called me a despicable coward for not calling out the people he once called out. So he both wants to parent me and be my child. He wants to tell me what I have to do and who I have to say what to. And then when I don't, he and some of his friends want to act like utter victims because I won't do what they say. They need me. I have to be their daddy and step in to protect them.
Yeah, no, he's right. I mean, Ben Shapiro he's basically calling on a lot of other conservative people to try to defend him against the America First Nick Fuentes faction. And the problem is that he's losing massively. And he's losing in the court of public opinion. That's the worst court to lose in.
And I am not their daddy. And I resent that he thinks he's in a position to decide who must say what to whom and when.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
I think people like, especially like this messaging is like especially problematic for conservatives because they're just coming off of like a 10-year censorship campaign.
Did he play what Ben said?
Yes,
because that would set if he plays what Ben said. That's what the clip that I was trying to find. Just see what Ben says about them. And then I really want to see, because I read Tucker's response, but I did not see or hear it. I mean, just reading what I saw about Tucker's response, I could hear his laugh. I could hear the exact way I'm thinking in my brain how it sounded, but I have not seen the video yet. So
now here is where. Okay, I don't know if he played exactly. This is Ben Shapiro at Turning Point.
Israel attacked, basically.
You cited during your speech truth as the most important tenet of American conservatism. Why, therefore, did you call irrelevant the Israeli attack in 1967 on the USS Liberty, which left dozens of American servicemen dead and hundreds wounded?
Somebody's having a bad time. Somebody's having a very bad time.
So what I actually said is that if we're looking at modern Israeli-American relations, looking at an attack that happened mistakenly by multiple Navy reports, multiple Israeli reports, and all available evidence, and using that attack in order to undermine today's relations between Israel and America, that's irrelevant.
So how can you use that attack to undermine Israel's relations with America, but you also use the Holocaust to bolster Israel's relations with America?
Boom!
And it happened even farther beyond that.
That's right.
I think this is an example of having your cake and eating it too.
Mm-hmm.
You want this collective guilt to continue, building goodwill for Israel, but these things that Israel did in the past that were somehow problematic, well, that was a long time ago. It doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Holocaust was not a mistake. It was still in the past. It was also a fucking mistake. And the other thing too is that you've got to remember that America came over and stopped the Holocaust. We ended up helping Europe win the fucking war along with the fucking Soviets against Nazi Germany.
As irrelevant as it would be to cite a piece of evidence from World War II or from 1776 to define America's relations with, for example,
If you think that World War II and the collective guilt of the Holocaust is not a massive factor for people's unconditional support of Israel, you are fucking delusional.
Agreed.
It is absolutely a huge factor.
Britain or Germany today. That does not mean that the attack wasn't horrible for the Americans involved, that it wasn't bloody and terrible. The Israeli government paid reparations to the people who were killed. If you look at the actual military record of what happened on the USS Liberty, it was clearly a mistaken and tragic attack. The people who frequently cite
Didn't Ben Shapiro didn't he criticize even Germany's reparations for the Holocaust because it said that, if this happened, it could allow them to buy their way out of the guilt? I remember reading something or seeing something about. Stop cutting him off. Yeah. Okay. I apologize. Let me actually let me let it play out.
And then before he goes any further, listen, the whole USS Liberty thing, I've seen it explained. Robert Barnes explained it very well. There's lots of documentation on it. I think it's just it's a talking point people like to use to bash Israel. It was a horrible tragedy. It was a mistake. The Egyptians had been doing this before. This is where the false flag thing comes from, because pirates used to fly someone else's flag and pretend that they were different people. And then they would attack others. So, yes, but I still think it's retarded if you're going to use the argument that, they paid reparations, but it's not okay that Germany paid reparations for what happened to the Jews in the Holocaust.
The USS Liberty, however, are not talking about the specifics of the USS Liberty. I suspect that the vast majority of people who bring this up are doing so in order to suggest that Israel deliberately attacked an American ship because Israel deliberately wants to harm America. It is connected generally with a larger point. I wonder if that's your point.
I don't think that Israel wants to harm America. I think that Israel wants America to act in its best interest.
Yes.
Israel is not malicious.
Ma Mega.
They're just simply opportunistic.
Truth matters. Then the Israeli government must
You're
be
gonna get
held
some
accountable
pauses, just not as
for
many.
that attack.
Just
the
not as many.
American flag was flying on that ship. You do not mistake an American ship for a foreign one when our flag is flying.
So,
That's a
and
big
we can
one.
spend the rest of the time talking about the specifics of the U.S. Liberty attack, or you can actually go look at the naval investigations that were done, multiple naval investigations that were done. The reality is that people were flying Mirage planes for the Israeli military at the time. The USS Liberty was sailing in an area where it had essentially gone off-grid. The Israeli military mistook it for an Egyptian ship. They thought it was shelling Al Arish, which happened not to be true. In the initial attack, the American flag was knocked down, and then the attack went on for about 90 minutes. And then, as soon, you can hear this, by the way, on the tapes of the Israeli pilots talking to each other, as soon as they realize that it's an American ship, they call off the attack, they speed a ship to try and help the USS Liberty. There have been multiple unfortunate friendly fire incidents between Allied forces, including, for example,
This is why I think Candace Owens should just shut the fuck up. But then again, she's got to cater to her crowd. So you basically heard Ben there. It didn't get into what he said about them. Oh, no, wait,
Right.
maybe right here. Hold on a second. Maybe right here.
Let me see what this is. It's a long one. I don't want to watch a long one. Let me go and see if I can find any more of these here with Tucker Carlson. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
coalitions. It's the
This
job
is
of
it.
those of us who try to shape public opinion to hold politicians to account and to hold them accountable to our values. We must not let fear of audience deter us from telling the truth. We must not let fear of other hosts deter us from telling the truth. So, for example, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk
Oh boy, give me a minute. I gotta use the bathroom. This is gonna be good. and again,
He does what we do.
There's
Take a little
definitely
bathroom.
an implied consent, isn't there? Okay. Candace Owens.
So, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie
Conspiracy
Kirk
Candace.
casting aspersions at TPUSA and the people who work here, who worked with Charlie every single day, his best friends, to cast aspersions at Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff and Tyler Boyer and, yes, at Erica Kirk, and to imply or outright claim
She
complicity
killed him.
in a cover-up over Charlie's murder, to spew absolutely baseless trash.
Now, he
implicating
is
everyone from
correct what
French
he's
The
saying,
best
in my
thing-
opinion.
What I find to be so funny about this is that I actually do think in some of these points, Ben does have the clear and very defined moral upper hand. He does. And Ben's right. But I think that the Israel issue is so overpowered. It's so strong that literally nobody cares.
Yeah,
Nobody
but
gives
he
a
is
fuck. And it's
right.
also about the way he talks. No, he doesn't. I think it's very problematic what Candace has been doing. I do. I think it's
Me
very
too.
problematic. But like, I mean, again, it's her right to do it. Can you turn up the video
Exactly.
quality?
Yeah, it is her right to do it. I agree with that.
No.
And it's
intelligence to Mossad, to
And it's what?
I was just saying, and it's up to the individual to decide what they believe and what their viewpoints are. It doesn't matter what anybody's telling you what your viewpoint should be. You're the only person that can decide that.
Right.
So
and-
him saying if you know that what Candace is doing is bad, is it? That's your personal opinion. That's great. But that's not the opinion of a lot of other people.
And Ben's doing it to be a fuck to score points.
Right.
That's the only reason he's doing it. He's a weasel.
But and I do get what you're saying about, like, okay, Candace went a little more. What he was saying about Candace is, yes, she did go, and she is more conspiracy type things. But that's why the Tucker part of this is what really got me, is what he criticized Tucker for doing.
Yes.
Is just absolutely absurd. Whether you like Tucker or you like or don't like who he interviewed that little Benny's got a problem with, doesn't matter. That is completely irrelevant. We can interview anybody we want. If you don't
Damn
like
right.
it, don't watch. But
Right.
to be deplatformed, to call for somebody being deplatformed for interviewing someone with an opposite opinion or a different opinion than yours, that's fucking, you might as well be voting blue no matter who.
Right.
That's
right.
That's cancel culture.
You are so correct. And I love Tucker, and I don't agree with we talked about this before. I don't agree with everything that he fucking says, but I love Tucker to death. And Tucker's response, because he's going to...
was beautiful.
Oh,
it was beautiful.
God, it was so good. It was so good. We'll get to it. Here, we'll let little Benny finish his little rant. Because this all, in my opinion, all he's doing is doing this to score brownie points with TPUSA.
Members of TPUSA in Charlie's murder or a cover-up in that murder, then we, as people with a microphone, have a moral obligation to call that out by name.
Nope.
Erica Kirk and TPUSA never should have been put in the position to have to defend themselves against such specious and evil attacks, particularly in a time of mourning.
Well, what about, I'm going to be real, I said this earlier, but bro, the 5 stages of grief was meant to be a metaphor. She's going out there and doing all these performances and everything, doing this, oh my God. Really? You gotta at least know that it's a bad idea, right? Even if you think it's the same as Trump, right? Whenever Trump said that shit about that Hollywood guy that got killed, it's you gotta have some awareness that whenever some guy gets killed and you're yeah, but he didn't like me, so he was crazy, and yeah, it is what it is. That's too bad. That's what happens when you don't like me. You've got to have some level of self-awareness that you're just kicking yourself in the dick. Nobody's going to agree. There are a lot of opinions. I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of opinions I have that I don't share because I know everybody's going to think I'm nuts. So you should just stop doing it. Stop saying it. I don't know what this is.
Let him keep going.
And the people who refuse to condemn Candace's truly vicious attacks, and some of them are speaking here, are guilty of cowardice.
Oh.
Yes, cowardice. The fact that they have said nothing while Candace has been vomiting all sorts of hideous and conspiratorial nonsense into the public square for years is just as cowardly.
Ben Shapiro
Look at that scowl
is
on
arguing
Ben's
for
face.
censorship,
Look
not
at that scowl.
argument. That's the reason why I think that
He
his
is.
perspective on these things isn't going very well.
I dare someone to
is
steal
because
his hat.
he's not arguing that she's wrong necessarily.
Do it.
He's arguing that people shouldn't talk to her, and this is the same with Nick. That's the main thing that's happening. He was bullied in high school. I don't know. I have no idea.
Who wouldn't bully him in high
was
school?
A mistake.
All right.
I don't know whether. I think that it's very clear that
Tucker.
the person asking that is. Let me see if there's any more about the stuff from Tucker Carlson or anything else. This is what moral clarity looks like, and so a lot of people are very positive about it. But at least from his own people. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. The Tucker response.
Man.
Thank you.
That's a lot of people there. Holy shit. I didn't know this was so big.
Thank you. Walking out is always such a trip at these things. I just got here, and I feel like I missed the first part of the program. I hope I didn't miss anything meaningful. But I just want to say, I don't think I did. No, I'm just kidding. I watched it. I laughed. That kind of bitter, sardonic laugh that emerges from you when, Upside Down World arrives. When your dog starts doing your taxes and you're like, wait, it's not supposed to work this way. To hear calls for, deplatforming and denouncing people at a Charlie Kirk event, I'm like, what?
Yep.
This is hilarious. Yeah, this is hilarious. Actually, one of the clips I was listening to myself, thinking as I often
Ho's
do when I
mad.
hear myself speak, which is never, because I never watch myself, but at these events I always play like the role of you. And I'm like, that guy is pompous. Woo!
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We don't see ourselves clearly. But the prediction that, at some point when Republicans took power again, which I did everything I could, to help, and really felt that was important. I still think, I was right. But I really thought that the impulse to deplatform people, or even to use the word platform as a verb, which it's not, it's a noun, don't steal my...
I like this, yes. The entire concept of platforming this is ridiculous. I think that the only things that you shouldn't be platforming are threats and doxing.
Yep.
Other than that, go ahead.
Announce, deplatform, and denounce. Why haven't you denounced somebody else? The whole, Red Guard Cultural Revolution thing that we so hated and feared on the left, that we did everything we could to usher in a new time where you could have an actual debate. I mean, this kind of was the whole point of Charlie Kirk's public life.
Yeah.
And I think that...
got him killed.
I think that he died for it.
Yep.
I really believe that. And I know a lot about
He
it
obviously
because
did.
the last several months of Charlie's life were devoted in part to arguing about this event, in fact, this speech, in fact, my speech here, which he asked me to do earlier this year, this summer, and was immediately put under just immense pressure from people who give money to Turning Point. I would assume good
people. I mean, nobody, I'm not going to say the country of the people that they're from, or, it's just people. I'm sure some of them are good people. They apparently give money to the organization. I mean, there were just certain people. I'm not going to say the race of the doctor.
People, but who wanted him to take me off the roster. And this has all become public, and the whole thing is so sad that I never talk about it, except to say Charlie stood firm in his often stated and deeply held belief that people should be able to debate, and that if you have something valid to say, if you're telling the truth, you ought to be able to explain it calmly.
And if you're lying, you better be able to explain that too. Because there's plenty of lying retards out there. You got to deal with them.
And in detail to people who don't agree with you, and that you shouldn't immediately resort to shut up racist.
Exactly. He's right. That shit does not work anymore. It is over.
That
it's
was
done. It's finished.
And that's why I like Tucker. I mean, I don't think, and again, I feel very much about Tucker the same way I feel about Trump. I don't agree with everything he says, and I don't like the way he goes about things sometimes.
Me too.
But I think for the most part, Tucker is a patriot and is speaking the truth. No matter who he's talking to, like they gave him a hard time for going to Qatar, and why not? If you are a media outlet, if you are a journalist, that's your job, is to go get the truth. And I don't care if you like the person or not, or you believe what they stand for or not.
Right.
Speaking to them and getting all sides of all things out is exactly what they're supposed to do. And I think Tucker does a really good job of it, because the one thing that they didn't say, they didn't show, was that little Benny had a problem with Tucker interviewing Fuentes.
Right.
That was his big thing. Like, he interviewed Fuentes, the Holocaust denier. He interviewed him. He should be deplatformed for that. No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. Nick Fuentes has just as much right to have his opinion heard as you do, Benny.
Yep.
Like it's and the absolute irony of him calling for them to be deplatformed and unsupported and shunned.
Yeah.
At a Charlie Kirk Turning Point event.
Right.
That was literally what he was against. Is no, we should hear everyone out.
To be fair, Charlie called out Nick Nick and Charlie very obviously had very, very big problems with each other. And Charlie called out Dinesh D'Souza for interviewing Nick Fuentes, saying that we shouldn't be giving people like him a voice. That happened earlier this year. Tucker for interviewing. Oh yeah, it was this big thing. So
you froze up and skipped. That's why I was kind of like, wait, what happened there?
Well, no. So Charlie Kirk called out Dinesh D'Souza for interviewing Nick Fuentes. Said that he shouldn't be giving him a platform to spew his hate. Then Dinesh D'Souza ripped on Tucker for interviewing Nick Fuentes. It's all stupid. It's all stupid. Everybody gets a right to speak. Platforming them, whatever. I think that you get people on, somebody like Tucker or Dinesh, whoever gets these people out there and gets them to speak, and then challenges them a bit. I think that's the point of robust debate. But I would interview Nick Fuentes in a heartbeat if we could. What we saw on stage was a bitch fest, just saying from the moment it started, it was crazy to watch the "we love you but hate you" to your face. Well, at least they aren't doing it behind closed doors.
Yes.
I love it. Let's go. Do more of this, because anybody who's going to deplatform somebody for their speech can fuck right off. Yankee and I have both been very adamant about, if you don't like it, just turn the channel. Just don't watch. It's simple. Everybody should get have a channel, say whatever you want.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. You should, if you are not, if you are not able, which is sad, to hear an opposing opinion and not get angry and stupid, well then yeah, turn the channel.
Right.
But I don't understand. I don't understand how divided it is, and that there are people that just straight up can't even hear anything remotely not what they think. Like there's no one can ever find any common ground anywhere anymore. It has to be either I completely agree with you or I completely hate you. Yes. You have to agree with me 100% or I hate you. That's just stupid.
Well, I mean, to each their own. I don't care. There's plenty of Tucker interviews that I've started and I've been like, I don't want to listen to this shit. They were talking about, he was interviewing some Catholic guy and they were talking about, video games and rock music destroying the brains of children and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, I don't need to hear this same tired fucking argument, but it doesn't matter. I still support Tucker. And I think that he should, and Nick Fuentes and all these people should be able to speak. And I would never advocate for deplatforming them, other than, like we've talked about before, calling for outright violence against some a group or a person, and doxing, especially doxing. You can fuck off with your doxing too. But yes, Liz, I don't recall if Benny tried to get him deplatformed then. But yeah, a lot of people hated the fact that Tucker interviewed Putin, and I loved it. I thought it was great. But
he's a journalist. That's his job.
Sure. Absolutely. But this whole thing, Ben Shapiro, I can't call him a coward because he did go right out on stage and call it out. I'll give him credit for at least that. He didn't do it behind closed doors.
I'm not saying he's a coward.
Oh no!
By any means, I'm not saying he's a coward.
Yeah.
I just think it was very. I think he's arrogant, is what he is. He's arrogant, and he's He's the type of person that pisses me off because he is the type of person that he thinks he is the smartest person. Anytime he walks into a room, he thinks he's the smartest one in it. And those are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet.
Absolutely.
Because you're never the smartest person in the room. You never are. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're never the smartest person in the room.
Agreed. And humility goes a long way. You're not going to learn anything if you think that you're the end all. And you should be learning till the day that you die.
Mm-hmm. At least one thing every day. I learned today that the lady who sued McDonald's was not an urban legend, which I thought it was. I learned today it actually happened.
I learned that the Ninth Amendment was everything else.
Everything. The Ninth Amendment is everything. Literally everything.
Yeah, Sam Burglar, I still people literally just this past week saw somebody wearing a mask. And I'm all for it. I don't care. Just so long. The only reason I ever try to point it out is because you're not helping. If you're wearing a mask, you're literally doing nothing. But if it's like a nook, right? It's like a pacifier. It's a comfort thing. Let them do it. People driving it by themselves in a car with a fucking mask on. It is a form of retardation, but let them do it. Ben is losing fast. So many are going to walk away because they see his bullshit and his rage. Yeah, at one point, Asman did. Yes, rage does turn people off. Asman did pulled up his numbers, and he's lost, 20,000 or so in that like a 24-hour period. He's lost a bunch of people. Digger with the raid!
Thank you, Digger. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much for the raid. And everybody, if you could go over and check out Digger and
make sure you do.
Give him a follow and a like and all that good stuff. We appreciate all raiders.
2 tonight, KD and Digger.
Yeah, and if you're not following KD, definitely go over and follow KD. Digger doing a bunch of chatting with the chat. And with friends. Awesome. Excellent. Let's get Digger some followers. Appreciate that raid. But yeah, this calls for deplatforming are just going to backfire on Ben. He attacked some of the most beloved people on the right.
And it wasn't even attacking the people. It was the reasoning. It was the reasoning behind it, that they were saying things he didn't like.
Right.
And that he feels are dividing. No, that's you.
Right.
You don't stand up. Who are you to stand up there and call for somebody to be deplatformed because they interviewed someone? Sorry, no, you're an asshat.
You're
a tiny asshat.
Yes. We won't even get into phallus size, but we've never called for anybody to be deplatformed ever. I don't think that we ever would, outside of, like we've said, outright calls for violence and or doxing. Those two things, fuck off. But other than that, say whatever you want, and I'll choose whether or not to listen.
Agreed.
We're getting close to the end. I got to work tonight.
We are. It's another short one. Well, I think I'm ready for a raid too. Anyway. Yes, it is.
I have to work Saturday night and Sunday night and Friday night at 12. I was going to have those days off, and now they want us to work. So I'll take the money, I guess.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Adulting, right, Fireball? Adulting, yuck.
Yes.
Adulting sucks.
It does, but, that paycheck, paying the mortgage, it's a thing. You're off till Saturday, Justin. Good deal. Enjoy your week off.
Very nice.
So,
Christmas Eve, Christmas, and half a day the day after Christmas.
Oh, half a day Friday?
Yeah, I had float time. It's use it or lose it, so
yeah,
took a half a day the day after Christmas.
Yes.
And I took a half a day on New Year's Eve since, we have the 24-hour stream starting at noon on New Year's Eve.
Oh, do you? You're doing it?
Yeah. We do it every year.
I thought that
third
you
year.
said that you weren't going to do it again because it's just too insane.
We've been talking about it for the past couple of weeks that it's definitely happening. Yeah, well, I'll do it. I'm going to do it every year. I've done this will be the third year in a row.
Awesome. I am off New Year's Eve, but I got to work New Year's Day, which is fine. It's triple time. I'll take it. I'm surprised that they were giving it to us. We were supposed to have both of them off. Something changed. I don't know what, but I'm going to take the money. All right, Justin Henry, the 6'7" shit. What are you, Gen Alpha or something? Okay, so as Yankee is preparing our raid, let me just do the wrap up real quick. If you're new here, every Monday we like to do Know Your Rights. Until we've covered all the amendments, we just covered the 9th crazy-ass amendment. And doing a stream on Wednesday, on Christmas Eve, that is all about you, the chat. What the fuck, chat? What are we talking about? So we're going to do that. And I think right after that, me and Ms. Chaotic are going to do a Santa Tracker stream for a few hours. So we'll invite you to come see that. Friday, Bourbon and Beer on this man's channel. Don't miss it. Every Friday night. And other streams like Shooting the Shit and things like that. So if you're not following Yankee Free's channel, do it now. Myself, I've been doing lots of Arc Raiders. Love Arc Raiders. It's a lot of fun. Just got the reset on today. So it's a lot of fun. We'll definitely be doing some of that. I was planning on streaming all weekend, but I won't be now because I got to work. But please come and follow my channel as well. If you're new, hit the follow, hit the like, hit the repost because it really helps us out. Like really, really helps us out. And then Saturday night we will have a stream here as well before I go to work. So all of those things out there, please, if you like what we do, support us. We love your support. Yankee, what are we doing?
We are going to be raiding, and when we do, we don't just go willy-nilly anywhere. Even on the blind raids I like to do sometimes, I look into them and make sure that they have they're engaging chat and it's good content and sometimes we get to raid to people we know and we like and we have all the faith in the world sending you to them, and that's what we're doing tonight. We are going over to Off-Label Podcast tonight.
Off-Label!
Yes. Very good, guys. Good show. Simple Davey. Make sure you go over and do all of the free things we asked you to do when we took the break and I talked to you guys. The like, the repost, the comment, the share, all that good stuff. Please do that for them as well. If you are not following them, make sure you do. And once again, thank you all for spending an evening with us.
Yes, thank you very much. We will see you Wednesday. Thank you for watching Beyond the Noise, a subsidiary of SOAR Network. We're live every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To ensure you don't miss the show, make sure you follow the channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from our work. You can find Yankee every Friday night on his Living Yankee Free channel for bourbon and beer for some irreverent fun with friends. Or drop by his music channel, Patriot Jams, for good tunes to get you through your day. Better yet, follow his main channel, Yankee Free, for all alerts for any of his content. You can follow RS on his main Rumble channel, Republic Sentinel, for alerts for all of his shows, and TRS News for an alternative take on the news. If you have specific questions for our guests or the hosts that you would like to be read on the show, you can drop a Rumble rant. You can support the channel by simply hitting the follow button, and if you feel so inclined, become a paid subscriber.